Hi guys, so this video is going to be about main ideas. It's an important skill that we need to learn for this class, and it relates to our academic future. Make sure to watch the whole video and follow along in your book and other materials. This is like the sort of activity that I would give you during class, but since we don't have that face-to-face class meeting, I'll do it in a video format. And the nice thing is you could pause it, watch again. If there's something you didn't understand, of course, you can also email me and ask me questions. Okay, so um, think about your major and your future. What do you want to study in Harper College? Maybe you are thinking about studying business or nursing, computer science, psychology, whatever you want to study. When you think about taking those classes, how many pages of reading are usually assigned? Some people might think it's like 10 or 20, but really in a class like psychology or business, for every class meeting, the professor's probably going to ask you to read one chapter of your book. So that's definitely more like at least 40 pages, possibly even closer to 80. When you need to read and remember so much information, you need to make sure that you can focus on the main ideas in your writing, in the reading. Okay? um, so that when you review, when you come back to study or take a test, you know what the main points are. You don't have to read everything again. Okay, so main ideas really help us with studying and even with our comprehension of a reading. So let's look at this paragraph, which does not have a clear main idea. I'm going to read the paragraph aloud and you see if you know what it's about. You could also pause it to read it. Some of us have done this hundreds of times. We sometimes think we could do it in our sleep. But if it's your first time, don't worry. It's really a very simple procedure. First, you sort everything into piles. It's better to separate things carefully at this point, or you could cause real damage. Then, when one pile is ready, it's time to let technology do the work. Be sure you follow the directions and remember that it is better not to do too many things at once. Mistakes can be expensive. Once the first part is done, the next step depends on the equipment you have available. You may be able to put technology to work again, or you may have to use old-fashioned methods and take everything outside. In any case, it will eventually be time to make piles again and put everything where it belongs. And then you are done for now. All too soon, the time will come to repeat the whole procedure. Read it again, pause, and think, what is this paragraph about? What is it about? Sometimes people say it's about a procedure. It's about a process. But what process is it about? What are they talking about? We don't really know when we read it like this because there's no clear main idea in this paragraph. Now, what if I tell you the main idea? The main idea is laundry. Laundry? What? How could the main idea be laundry? Okay, some of us have done this hundreds of times. Yes, I have done laundry hundreds of times. Okay, don't worry. It's simple. Sort everything into piles. I make piles like white, colored clothes, and towels, maybe. Separate things carefully, or you can cause damage, right? If you put the red shirt and the white shirt together, you might have pink. Okay, let technology do the work. That will be the washing machine. Follow the directions. Mistakes can be expensive. When you finish, the next step depends on the equipment you have available. You may be able to put technology to work again, a dryer machine, or use old-fashioned methods and put everything outside. Hang it up on the line. In any case, it will eventually be time to make piles again. Fold it up, sort it out, put everything where it belongs. Then you are done for now. All too soon, the time will come to repeat the whole procedure. So, when we don't know the main idea, we cannot fully understand the paragraph. Our brain is just going like, oh, what does this word mean? How does this fit? How does this fit? As soon as we know the main idea, the pieces fall into place. Okay, it is the same with reading other texts and especially academic texts. Okay, so finding the main idea is an important part of all types of readings. A main idea always consists of a topic, which is a general subject, like laundry, okay, and a claim, a controlling ideas, which means the writer's point. So imagine I was writing a paragraph about laundry. My paragraph could be about, I hate laundry. Okay, that's one. My paragraph could be about, laundry is different in my country and the United States. Okay, my paragraph could be about, men are better at doing laundry than women. Okay, those are some but my paragraph is not about that. It's about laundry, that's the topic. But the claim of this paragraph was really about the steps. There are follow certain steps to do the laundry. Okay, so whenever we find out the topic, we also need to think about the claim or the controlling idea. Okay, this is something that if you're taking writing class, you might read about this too. Okay, in writing class, you usually write the main idea in the first sentence, okay, of your paragraph. But when we are in reading class, when we are reading paragraphs, they're a little more complicated, okay? So sometimes the main idea is in the first 2 or 3 sentences of a paragraph, but it's not always. Sometimes the main idea is not directly stated, and we must infer it. And infer it means we must figure it out, not just guess randomly, but logically choose. Okay? Okay. When you find a main idea, you want to see if the other sentences support or provide details about the main idea. That's a good way to check if you have the right main idea. Okay, and next, writers often repeat the main idea at the end of a paragraph. That's another important point to say. Finally, sometimes the first sentence of the next paragraph refers back to the main idea. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of practice in our book now with the main ideas. So I'm going to switch over to show you a little bit about the book. Okay, and I have the online version of the book, so let me get it loaded for you. Okay, so this is page 2 of your text, and you're welcome to follow it on the screen if you don't have your textbook yet, but we do need to get your textbook as soon as possible. So I would like you to pause the video and go ahead and on page 2 read this explanation about identifying main ideas, and then read this paragraph, which is a main idea paragraph, okay? Every sentence is explained. So after you read sentence 1, you could read the explanation for sentence 1. After you read sentence 2, you can read that explanation. Okay, so pause your video and go ahead and do that for a couple minutes. So hopefully you learned something from this paragraph, and the key kind of takeaway that I want you to have is medicine is the general topic, okay? But the specific point is that new drugs take a long time to become available, okay? It takes a long time to develop new drugs and new medicine, okay? So when you see many of the sentences, like sentence 4 through 7, give details about that. So that's how we can kind of verify that that is the main idea for this point. Okay, so these are the strategies that I already discussed, but go ahead and read those again. Okay, and then on page 3 of your book, I want you to read this paragraph in Skills Practice 1 and decide which you think is the main idea sentence, A, B, C, or D. Go ahead and pause the video again to work on that. All right, so let's see if you got the right answer for your first kind of big question for our class. So let's look at answer A. The number of people suffering from mental illness is increasing in developed countries. That is one of the first sentences of the paragraph. However, is it the main idea? In other words, do all of these sentences explain that the number of people suffering from mental illness is increasing? So the first point is more telling us, letter A is telling us background information. Background means like history or information that we need to know before we can read the rest of the paragraph and answer the question. Okay, let's look now at letter C and letter D. Okay, letter C. 10% of Americans take a drug to fight some type of mental illness. This point is not the main idea because it is providing a detail. It is providing a detail. It's true. It says it right here. Okay, but it is not actually the main idea because you can see, because it has a statistic, a very specific point, it's not the main idea for the whole paragraph. Okay, and many mental health experts believe that better diagnosis of mental illness explains the increase in numbers. This is also it's a sentence from the paragraph, but it's also providing a detail. It doesn't provide the point that covers all the sentences. So in this paragraph, the correct main idea is letter B. The increase in mental illness is raising serious questions among mental health experts. Okay, so it's most similar to this sentence right here. This huge growth has raised. Okay, and these are some of the questions that they're talking about. Okay, so that is how we determine the main ideas. So for additional practice with this important skill, you could practice pages on page 3 of the book, and page 4 and 5 also, to practice main ideas. Also on Blackboard, under week 1 and module assignments, so remember that's in learning modules, and then week 1, finish here, module assignments, okay? We have this optional main idea practice and answers. So you can do this packet and then check your answers because this is a very important skill. I'll also check your comprehension of this skill in number 4, the concept check, which is sort of like the quiz. It covers both our reading number 1 and the main idea practice. So make sure that you study this a lot more and do a lot more practice with it in order to really feel confident about it, because it's sort of a foundational skill that we're going to use throughout the whole semester. Okay, so any questions, you can always email me or talk to me about it when you see me, and good luck with all your work.